Welcome to my midweek episode of Real Women's Stories. For anybody that is new to this podcast, I guest interview somebody at the beginning of the week, and then I like to do a coaching practice based on the conversation that I've had with my guest. And my previous guest was Daniel Green, who is a celebrity chef. He has written a number of books. His main driver really for him was he had put on a lot of weight and he wanted to have a sustainable way of living and eating. And he discovered the paleo diet, which really it's a caveman diet. It's finding produce and food that we have available to us within our range and that we can put on our plate. And the main source of that was to start with protein and then build your, recipe creation around protein and vegetables and good carbs. But I really want to talk through about the emotional journey that we can go through when we first start a diet, because, and I actually hate the word diet, and I kind of really would like to talk about it more about a healthy eating plan that is sustainable, that can take us throughout our journey and our lives, and that we can learn from each other and that we can teach our families. It might be the new year. You might have just come back from holiday in the summer and you might suddenly think, oh my God, I just need to lose a few pounds. Well, how about we actually look at our journey over a 12-month period, not just for a short period of time? Because I don't know about you, but I've done these fad diets. I've gone on my bodybuilding journey, which I still like to follow. I still like to weigh my food because then I can look at my portion sizes. But when I spoke to Daniel, we delved into what is healthy eating. Because when you walk into a supermarket and you decide to be healthy, there's lots of different messages that the supermarkets give you in terms of low fat, low sugar. And really, when you start to look at the back of the packets of the foods and the calories, the salt content, the fat content, the sugar content, it doesn't really add up. So Daniel gave me some really useful hints and tips on, how do we start this journey and how can it be consistent? So the one big thing he said was to look at the food groups. So protein should be your first basis of creating your meal and the food that you put on your plate. And then around that should be lots and lots of fresh vegetables, and then some carbohydrates, but the good carbs. And of course, yes, we can go off plan for Christmas. We can go off plan for the odd holiday. But consistently, how do we do that? And how do we do that in a financially stable way and that is going to be sustainable? Because I know that the food sort of prices in the supermarkets have skyrocketed recently. So he kind of said to look out for the offers that were going on. So this is really where I'd like to start. So first of all, have a look at the supermarket that you choose to shop at and look at the offers that they have going on at the moment in terms of protein. So protein is going to be our main source of our kind of meal on our plate. If we divided the plate up into sections, it's going to be protein, good carbs, and then vegetables. Or if it's the summer, you want to kind of change vegetables for, like a salad. So go into your supermarket and see what they have on offer. So for example, Daniel explained to us that, salmon is a great source of protein. It fills you up. It's good for your omegas. So see whether or not there is a certain fish that they have on offer. And maybe you can batch buy. So if they're, doing a three for the price of two, then maybe you could even invest on buying 6 portions of that, and you could freeze that protein source, because then you have a batch of it in place and you've saved yourself some money. So look for the proteins that are on offer in your supermarket, and then look for vegetables that might be on offer. And Daniel said, look, you can buy frozen vegetables, which are obviously a cheaper option. However, I can guarantee you, if you walk into your supermarket, there will be an offer of a number of vegetable sources that are available to you. I really like to shop online because, first of all, I can look in my food cupboards to see what I've got because I don't want to be doubling up. I don't know about you, but how many times have you walked through your supermarket, you've walked through the aisles and you've got, hang on a minute, have I got that sauce or have I got that vegetable? And later on you come home and you realize you've still got that in the fridge or you've still got that in the cupboard. So for me, online shopping is really valuable in terms of being cost effective. So open up your cupboards first, look what you have inside, and then you can set up your shop online. So whilst you're shopping through your phone, which is obviously also time efficient as well, you can see the savings you're making. And a lot of the supermarkets will show you that they do have offers, their online offers as well. So if you don't want to go into your supermarket, have a look at the offers that are online. And then you can, again, batch buy. If it's a protein source, you can freeze a number of pieces of salmon or fish. It could be sea bass, it could be cod, it could be chicken, it could be steak that they've got on special offer. And now I'm going to sit down and I'm going to start to plan what I'm going to have for the week. You can think about, I do, if I'm going to have fish one night, chicken one night, steak one night, am I going to do a casserole? Am I going to make a soup? Daniel spoke about making chicken soup, which is great, especially this time of year, if it is the winter or even in the summer months. You can create a summer soup with lots of the vegetables that are in season. And one thing that Daniel did say was, let's have some fun with our families. Let's sit down. It's another way of bringing the family together. Sit down with your kids and go, okay, maybe let's think about, what type of meal that you would like. So you could, as I said, you can have soup one night. You could make casserole another night. You could do a stir fry. You could have steak. Then you could have a roast chicken. There are lots and lots and lots of options to you, and these are healthy options. It's just being creative with how you're going to put your food and your meal together. So it's all about meal prep. It's all about planning, and it's all about looking out for the deals that are in the supermarket. I find that when you start breaking down the types of foods that you're having and thinking about the flavors that you're adding, you really do start enjoying your food more. And when you do have something that maybe isn't healthy or good for you, that it doesn't make you feel great, you kind of get that hangover feel the next day. I know that when I start eating clean, I feel better. So it's not just about the food that you're buying and that you're putting on your plate. It's what you're putting inside of your body and how it's making you feel. And sorry, it's how it makes you feel. And the one thing that we want to do at the start of our healthy eating journey is to really listen to our body and think about how we're feeling when we're eating our food, how we're feeling after we've eaten our food, and also the following day. Because suddenly when you start taking out all of the badness, the bad fats, the bad sugars, the bad carbohydrates, and when you start filling yourself up with all of the goodness, you start to feel better. And when you start to feel better, then you have more energy, then your mindset changes, and then you want to start doing more active and get more into your fitness as well. So I do believe it's not just about, let's just go on a fad diet and lose weight. It's the beginning of the year, or I've just come back from holiday and I need to lose a few pounds. It's about sustainability, accountability, and thinking about how you feel when you're putting goodness into your body. And then it becomes much more sustainable for you. And as Daniel said, we all need to have treats. If you do fancy a bar of chocolate, or if you do have a meal where you might not eat something that's as healthy as it should be, don't beat yourself up. It really doesn't matter. We're all human. And, the biggest sort of learning that I sort of take away with me is, if I fall down, I pick myself up, I reset, and I start again. Because the worst thing you can do is go, oh, you know what? I've dropped it. And now I feel like I can't get back on the wagon again. You can. Yes, you can. Just remember, each day is different. And if you have a bag of crisps, or if you have a bag of chips, or if you fancy a bar of chocolate, have it. Because if you don't, then you're only going to start craving things. But once you start removing the bad food out of your diet, it's going to put you in a much better mindset, like I said before. When you're eating healthy, you also need to replenish yourself with lots and lots of water. Because when your eating habits change, you need to start flushing through all of the bad toxins. And sometimes it takes a while, especially if you are now embarking on a non-alcohol journey as well. A lot of people at the beginning of the year will kind of set themselves up to say, okay, right, now let's think about how we're going to eat healthy. Let's cut down our alcohol intake, but we need to replenish ourselves with water, because we can become highly dehydrated. And one ingredient that does help with our digestive system is water. So make sure you're drinking a lot of water to flush through all of the bad toxins and to help you digest all of the good stuff that you're putting into your body and into your diet. One thing that I haven't covered is, and I think it's really important for us to understand, that this isn't easy. Going on a new journey with your healthy eating plan is not easy. With anything in life, you have to put in the hard work. Things aren't just going to come to us. And sometimes we do have to resist temptation. We do really have to stop and think and reflect and contemplate. Is this something that I really want to eat? Is this something that's going to make me feel good? Or if I choose a healthy alternative, am I going to feel better? So one big thing that I think is important within this whole concept of sustainability and consistency is that you have to put the hard work in. It's not just going to come naturally. So the food preparation, the planning, the having to change your arrangements, that is about making a choice about how you're going to change the way you live your life, change the way that you're going to eat, and the habits that you have within your life. So I have given you some, helpful tips on how to start your healthy eating journey. But just remember, it's all about the hard work, and it's all about what you put in, because with anything, things aren't easy sometimes. And unless we really put the effort in, then the changes aren't going to be made. We have to make those changes ourselves. So if anybody is struggling, if anybody would like some help with looking at their diet, looking at their family life, I would absolutely love to help you. This is Real Women Stories, and I am the Real Women Coach. And I would really like to help you on your journey. I've really been on a roller coaster ride with my own eating habits. And that's really stemmed from, I guess socially being from a very, very young age, where we were taught that, you had to eat all the food on your plate. And I came from a very big cultural Jewish family, that it was all about, eat the food, however many courses. So, my journey with my own food has been quite hard. I have gone through my journey with bodybuilding and food prep, and I have tried fad diets, and I really come to the conclusion, and I'm in total agreement with Daniel, that it's important about being consistent with our food, being healthy, and creating new habits. So if you would like me to help you with your journey, I would love you to get in touch. I've got an email address. It's TheRealStoriesPodcast@gmail.com. That's TheRealStoriesPodcast@gmail.com. If you would like some help, just starting your journey, so we can look at how you're going to meal plan and how you're going to prep, and we can look at the different types of recipes. I'm happy to go on that journey with you and have some fun with it. So get in touch. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. I do think it's important for us to look at how we can live a much more sustainable and healthy life, but by being consistent and dropping these fad diets, because it just doesn't work. So I will see you next week for my guest episode of Real Women's Stories. Sister.